Hi, my name is Travis Smith, and this is Quoting Lines. Disclaimer. The following podcast is intended for commentary and entertainment purposes. Any third-party content implemented therewithin is admittedly not of my own and strictly used for illustrative purposes only.
Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Quoting Lines, where myself and a guest will talk about one of our favorite movies. And tonight's guest, I will let him introduce himself as well as introduce what movie we'll be talking about. So take it away.
My name's Wayne Bledsoe. I've been an entertainment writer for about 40 years. I wrote for Knoxville News Sentinel, Scripps Howard News Service. I currently write for Blank News. Have a couple of radio shows on realknoxvillemusic.com. I was an original board member on WDVX radio. Was nominated for a Grammy for liner notes for a project called The Trouble with the Truth, the story of Arthur Q. Smith, and hanging out. And our movie is one of the funniest, I think, movies of all time, Raising Arizona. Nick Cage, Holly Hunter. It's got Frances McDormand in a role that, I didn't realize till I went back and realized that was her. And it's great.
Absolutely. Now, is she married to Joel or Ethan?
I think it's Joel. I'm not positive.
Yeah, it's same. I knew she was married to one of them, but yeah, that's right. That's right. So cool deal. But so anyway, I mean, as far as story goes, writing or characters, I mean, can you think of just another comedy that's even, you know what I mean? I mean, what's your opinion on it?
Well, the thing is, like, most people pick Some Like It Hot as the greatest comedy of all time.
Sure.
And I think it, maybe it is, but I think Raising Arizona is like in the top 5 at least.
Yes.
I mean, everything about it is so funny. And I mean, when John Goodman and his cohort break out of prison and they're coming up through the mud and it looks like a birth. I mean, it's like all this psychological stuff they're playing on you that makes it even funnier.
Yes. Until you said it like that, I was like, yeah, it really.
Well, his head pops up out of the mud, just like, a baby's head popping out. And then he pulls his partner out. Yeah, it's hilarious just watching it.
Yes. And by the way, so that actor, William Forsythe, I think probably hands down I think that's his best work. He plays a bumpkin so well. It's out of control, just like how well he dumbed himself to that level. You know what I mean?
Well, what's so funny is with him, it's like, I can't remember what the television show was now. Maybe it was a remake of The Untouchables, but he played Al Capone later in a television show. And he's oh yeah. And he's great. Yeah.
I'm going to have, so The Untouchables, you said?
Maybe The Untouchables. It was a television show where he played Al Capone.
Get out.
Sure.
I will be watching that just because, he was, what was it? Deuce Bigelow. He was that cop in that. And then he was in The Rock, and he was easily 30, 40 pounds less, just had the mustache and everything. And you're just like night and day with this guy, but very cool.
Right.
He's terrific. He's terrific. Cool. This is good stuff. I mean, for as far as Coen films, man, I remember us talking about it just a few weeks back. I still think Blood Simple is like my favorite of theirs, just because you kind of get an idea of how their camera movement works, even all their characters, their primary to ancillary characters. But that's just me. Like, what's your favorite Coen film?
Gosh, it's hard for me to pick one because they've all been so different and so good. I mean, Raising Arizona is probably my favorite, but Blood Simple is, it's just hard to beat, especially when you get to the end and M. Emmett Walsh is like, he is so evil. Right. And he's been such a bumpkin seeming character the whole time. And you realize, no, this guy is really smart and really evil. But by the end, the great thing is nobody really knows. I mean, they don't know what's going on.
No,
And
no.
that's the best thing to me about Coen Brothers movies is they really get how stupid people are. And some people hate that. I've read reviewers talk about how they can't stand that the Coens, rely on stupid people. It's like, no, this is realistic, And Inside Llewyn Davis is a fairly recent one that a lot of people didn't like, and I absolutely loved it.
Good movie, solid movie.
When you have the Justin Timberlake character, well, the main character in it, Llewyn Davis, is talking to the Justin Timberlake character and convincing him to give him a loan to pay for an abortion for his girlfriend's pregnancy that Llewyn Davis is responsible for, is one of the coldest and funniest things. And you're just shaking your head the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so
Can't make
funny.
that up. Yes. Gosh, man.
That's what they do so well is they give you these characters that are not really good folks for the most part, or just really dumb and are good folks.
Yes.
And
that's it.
Fargo. Fargo's another one. It's funny as all get out and just so warped.
Oh, when he when Buscemi is, his jaw is all shot up to hell, and he looks at Stormare and he's like, "Are we square?" He turns around, then he throws his ass to the wood chipper.
My favorite part in that, though, has to be when Frances McDormand is interviewing the girls, and they say, "Well, she says, what did he look like?" And they say, "Yeah, he was funny looking." Every time he'd say, "Well, what do you really look like?" "Well, he was funny looking."
Oh, yeah?
Just with him? Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't. Yes, it didn't matter if it was old folks, young folks. He's kind of funny looking. Yeah,
funny looking.
Awesome. That's awesome. So we'll get to Raising Arizona here. All right, let's start it off with just your favorite quote. It's one of mine too in there, but so it starts off the movie. Tell us about it.
Well, the funny thing is I looked it up because it took forever to find a clip that actually had it in it. And all these people that liked it, including me, had it a little bit wrong. Because I always remembered it as being, "Her womb was a rough and rocky place where my seed could find no purchase." And I had the rough part. It's, "Her womb was a rocky place where my seed could find no purchase." And another person who loved it said, her womb was a barren desert where my seed could find no purchase." So we all add a little to it. But it's just like, I love how poetic and biblical he sounds when he's describing how they can't have a baby.
Right. Holly Hunter she's perfect at everything she does. She 100%, but when she pulls up, just, I'm barren. I feel so bad, but yeah, yes. And he said that this woman is as fertile as the Tennessee Valley. Or appears to be as. Oh my gosh.
Tennessee Valley. Oh yeah.
Gosh, but it was awesome. But just, to think, going back to what you said, the fact that no one's knocking the fact that they can't conceive. They're a couple, they wanted a family, but just to think that, they've got more than they can handle. Just stealing a kid? That's the
that's the thing that when this came out, I saw this when it came out, and the whole idea of a comedy about people kidnapping a baby was just like, this is so wrong. This can't possibly be funny. And it was just hilarious.
Yes.
It's like, who would think that you could have a comedy about somebody kidnapping a baby?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's, because I was looking it up. So 87, right? 1987. That sound right? Okay. Yeah. I was 1 year old. So yeah, I can't. So just to think, yeah, I mean, of course, I was just a little boy, a little baby, but I trust you. Just to think, I bet that was foreign, and like, really, I bet that
Oh,
was.
when people talk about it, it's like, this isn't right. And you saw it, and it was just, and it's so good hearted. I mean, that's one of the
Yes,
things that everybody loves that baby. I mean, when
they
William
do.
Forsythe and John Goodman, like, leave it on the top of the car and then they realize they've left the baby, they
Yes,
freak out. And it's like,
yes,
you never leave a man behind.
right.
It's like, and the baby's just so cool about everything. I love the way they get shots of him. He's just like,
Yeah, he's just kicking it. He's just kicking it. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah. And they really did. You got a good point. I mean, everybody, all the characters, good or bad, they all loved him.
yeah,
They all loved the baby.
even the dad, Nathan Arizona, who's way more concerned about his furniture business than his family,
Yes.
really don't dislike him. He's
It-
a cad and he's kind of a jerk, but he's really kind of a good-hearted guy. You get to the end of the movie and he's really kind of sweet at the end.
yes. Yes, he is. Yeah, well, that was just one of my favorites. We'll get to just like that character. I mean, everybody can relate to just, it didn't have to be a furniture business owner, but it could just be that type of everyman, small business, medium-sized business owner. You just like, this guy from, you know what I mean? From somewhere,
Yep.
this guy. So it's
Everybody's
just like, what's that?
everybody see him in their town. He's been on television.
Yes. Yes. Old Nathan Huffides, you know it? Yeah. So next up, this was actually, I think, in the big, and how, when I was just watching back on the clips, when High is getting chased by the cops, and there is that entire scene. I don't care if it's 1987 or 2022. Yeah, I mean, you could respect this. You've been writing about entertainment a long time. How much work it takes for that type of a scene for them to get it right? Forget about it.
Yeah, it's that scene is amazing. The
Yes.
diaper stealing scene.
Yes.
It's just unbelievably good.
Yeah, I mean, just you can decoupage it and look at everything there is to it, but that's awesome. But so anyway, he's so he's about to hop into his getaway vehicle, and then so he sticks up that fella. Then what does he say? He's got it.
Well, yeah, that's the part. He goes,
yeah,
you got a painting on your head. It's like when he steals the car, the guy's just that look. It's just like.
And what I love what Hyde told him, he goes, "You just drive real fast." Goodness, man.
Yeah. That's one of the things with the Coens, like with the kind of the peripheral characters. And I mean, the other quote that we'll get to with the guy in the store with this one is like, think about No Country for Old Men. You've got the same sort of a guy, but he's like flipping a coin for his life.
Yeah. No, seriously. Yes. Shigar. Yeah. No, dude. Yep. 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 You're not lying. And like you're saying there, in all of their movies, just they've always like on those co-star roles, like that pharmacist in that scene, or Fargo when they're like the guy, the teller. It's always like really unique people that they pick out, just those everyday people, and they have them across stars, and that's what I just love about the Coens. They just have this real cool way of making, like with all these kind of quotes, these very matter of fact everyday interactions, and that's just I think just kind of going with what you're saying. I think that's what makes it so cool about them.
Yeah, they seem like cool people. That's the thing is, when you watch these characters, they could have just recruited them out of a store. They don't that necessarily seem like actors. They seem so real.
Yes, and that's a big. I think that just what gives it that gravitas and that authenticity, in all of them, Yeah. Yeah. So gosh, so we were just bragging about William Forsythe there. So what I love about this is before he sticks the guy up, he's just asking, "Hey, old timer, how do you put these papers on?" Oh. I mean, a grown man literally doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Right.
and he just asked that old boy. He said, "Man, hey, these blow up in any funny shapes or colors?"
That's the best. That's the thing, is like you're talking about lines. I mean, we quote after that came out in '87. Of course, I was 27, I guess. But we quoted that from there on out. Not unless you think round's funny. It's like,
Yes, man. Goodness. And the part that just like, like with any of these lines, or like a few seconds before any of these, you got a handful of other quotes to go with it. But dude, I love when, like you were saying, when they've got to go back to get the kid, and that old man on the counter says 105 Mississippi. Oh, bullshit. He comes up, all an ass.
I think that when we saw it in the theater, I think that was probably the funniest thing for everybody. Everybody just broke out, because that was just like, it's like, of course I'm not going to count to 800 and whatever backwards.
Right.
It's classic.
Oh, man. Hey, where do you remember where you saw it at in the theaters?
I think, I'm not positive, but I think it was at the old Kingston 4 Theater, which no longer exists.
Is that the one, or where it was that the one like Kingston Pike, like close to like across from all the car dealerships? Was that the one?
It's near the car dealerships, and kind of across from there's like a hairstyling school across the street, and beside it where it was is like a Asian buffet sort of a thing.
Okay. Yes, I remember it was probably '04, '05. I think the building was still there. And then of course they tore it down. But yeah, I never went to the theater, but I remember where it was. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
In the 70s and 80s, that's where they had the Rocky Horror Picture Show every Saturday night for the midnight show.
Is that right?
Yep. We were there a lot too for that.
Cool. That's cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So next up, this one, even as a little kid, I didn't know what menstrual cramps were, but I was just like, what's going on here? But like, so what stuck out to you? What stuck out to you with this scene? Like,
well, with that, I mean, that is part of like this opening. The opening lasts for like 15 minutes before you get to the credits, before you get to, Raising Arizona coming up on the screen.
Yes.
It's bang, 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 bang. You're seeing all this stuff. They have this, the guy that is in their little, encounter or whatever, their psychological round robin.
Right.
And you see the most unlikely guy to be born in the body of a woman. Sometimes I gets the menstrual cramps real bad. And it's like, and that's the thing, is from that point in the movie, you are in for a real ride. It's going to throw things at you from left field. And that's one of the things I love about it.
Absolutely. And I love just the psychologist, the ownership on that. He's just like, so what do you mean trapped in a woman's body? He owned it. I loved it. I loved it.
It's perfect.
It is. Oh my gosh. All right. This was yeah, my dad's favorite. I love this one. So old HI, he's in front of the parole board.
Right.
Parole board. And it just the guy, the old man, he's just giving him that what for. And then there's just the guy on the side doesn't say shit, but just repeat offender. Just little things like that is what I love about all of it. But he just again, that matter of factness. He's sitting there looking at him, he's saying, hi, we don't want you telling us what you think we want to hear. He's like, oh, well, I guess I kind of am telling what you want to hear. Did we tell you not to say that? Well, okay then.
Well, and it's kind of mirrored later on when the John Goodman and Forsythe are trying to rob the bank, and they say, freeze, get down on the floor. And the old man goes, well, do you want us to freeze or get down on the floor?
Yeah,
if
definitely.
we get down on the floor, we'll be in motion.
Didn't you love when that old boy, he's walking it out with him, and John Goodman's eyes are just about to pop. Oh, dude. Oh, it's great. Oh, buddy. It just, yeah. So last one there. Man, honestly, it's anything Nathan Arizona. For me, it's just anything he says. It's perfect. Oh my goodness! Did you have a favorite quote of his that you like?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Well, the whole sequence where he's talking with, the FBI guys and the police are going back and forth. He's trying to answer both of them, and the guy says, "Well, what was he wearing?" He says something about, was he naked, or how was it? I can't remember exactly what he says, but it basically is like, Nathan says, nobody sleeps naked around here.
That's right. He's wearing his damn dinner jacket.
He's in his jammies like everybody.
Yes. Nobody sleeps naked in this household. What the hell's wrong with you, But I tell you what, when he gives that poor boy Miles on the phone, he says, no chairs, you ain't got no dinette set. Or he said, chairs, you got a dinette set. No chairs, you got dick. I'm gonna be down there at 8:45 in the morning. I'm gonna kick me some butt. My name ain't Nathan Arizona. But goodness. But anyway, that's about just a classic movie. Loved it. Mr. Bledsoe, I certainly do appreciate you coming on here, having a little fun with us. And please, you're always welcome. You want to do another one?
I appreciate it. It's been fun. And I should remind you to get your dip tet if you haven't had your dip tet. It's very important to get your dip tet.
That's right. It's not going to knock.
You need that dip tet.
That's right. What was it? Lockjaw night visitors? Man.
Charlie Hunter always goes, do we have that? Do we have that high?
That's right. Got to get that high. Got to get it. Oh my goodness, man. But I certainly do appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us. And again, just thanks again, and keep on rocking.
I appreciate it. Good to see you, Travis.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Okay.
See you.